Hey bestie, long time no see. It's over a month. It's very embarrassing. I needed to take a break. Lots have changed actually. You see it in my room. I finally made it to make over my room and I absolutely love it. I just came back from Berlin. What I wanted to... Let me grab my chair. As you might know, I've released a new song, which I'm very proud of. The other day I came back from Berlin because we were shooting the music video and you just saw the behind the scenes of the music video, which was so much fun. And in this music video I was wearing actually a crochet sweater. On my social media I've done a giveaway, a crochet sweater giveaway, which was the first crochet sweater giveaway that I've ever done, and we already picked the winner. We picked randomly the winner. I think there were 4,000 participants, which is absolutely crazy, and we had to unfortunately pick only one because, as you might know, crocheting takes up lots of time and I'm not a machine or something like that. Now I'm here on the video actually to take you with me during the process so you guys can also recreate the sweater at home. So congrats to the winner actually. I'm very happy for her. I'm already in contact with her. She picked out some colors. She gave me her measurement. And before we start actually the video, you might recognize this t-shirt. And let me show you the back side, which is my absolute fave. It looks like this. It's a little walking flower. The cool thing about it is you can have this one too. You can pre-order this t-shirt on my website if you want to. I think the graphic looks very cute. Stop the talking, let's start right off with the video. I'm very excited to show you the sweater. It's super simple. It's definitely something you can do as a beginner. That's like a good point. So this is the sweater that I'm talking about actually. We're not recreating this completely the same, like not the same colors and stuff like that. It's up to you how you want to recreate it. You can use your own colors. For the new one that I'm doing in this video, I chose new colors because obviously the winner wanted to have different colors. It looks so cool. It's the perfect project actually to use up all your leftover yarn at home. If you have so many like scraps and bits and like tiny little balls of yarn left, any kind of size, you can recycle them into a sweater and it looks kind of cool. There's not actually like a pattern. I just show you like the basics, but when it comes to different colors, when to change the color, it's up to you. It's like the whole thing is up to you. I'm just sharing like the pattern on how it's been done. Yeah, I'm gonna be doing a small in this video. This is a medium. The sizes doesn't matter because you have to measure yourself up front and it's depending on your measurements. Let's stop the talking and jump right into the DIY process. So let me show you the yarn that I actually bought. It's 100% cotton yarn because if you want to wear this in summer, and since it's like a meshy stitch, you definitely want to wear it in summer. I can fully recommend cotton yarn. It feels more comfortable on the skin. It's more breathy. So I bought different colors. Wait, let me show you this. So I bought different colors, all in like pastel tones. I can fully recommend to buy like maximum 500 grams. If you're getting low on supply, use leftover scraps. And I'm using a 3mm hook and this DK soft cotton yarn. Suitable for a 4mm to 5mm hook, but I don't care because I'm using a 3mm hook because I have like the feeling the results is way better than with a 4mm hook. And the stitches are more precise than with a 4mm hook, but that's also up to you as well. Yeah, let's start right off with the body part actually. Before we start actually the chaining up process, you need to know your measurement around your chest. You're gonna start with the body part, which is the tube top. That needs to go around your chest area. So you need to measure your chest area first in order to know how long you want to chain up your body part. We're not going to do front part and the back part separately. We're going to do the body part as a tube top. So we're going to have like a long big part which we're going to sew up in the end around our body part. And this goes also for the sleeve part. So as for the sleeves, you need to measure your upper arm around your armpits to check how wide you want to have the sleeves. The sleeves will be very flared, so you know that in advance, because it will fit around your upper arm and around your lower arm. So I kind of like that. So we have the body area and then the sleeve area first, and then we're going to connect everything and close up the cleavage and the back area. And that's how actually the whole thing works. So since the winner told me that her measurements around the chest area is 48 centimeters, I kind of want to have like a little more oversized fit than like the perfect fit. So I'm going to go up to 90 centimeters for her size. Since this is going to be a little bit stretchy as well, that should be fitting. Yeah, in order to get 90 centimeters, I chained up a chain of 160 chains. But if you're using a thicker yarn, you need less chains, obviously. And if you're using a thinner yarn, you need more chains. So always measure your chains and not only work with the amount of chain ups I'm telling you. So always check with your measurement. This is 160 chains, and now we're going to start with row 2, which is going to be our first mesh stitch. I'm going to teach you the mesh stitch, which is like a kind of the cool stitch for this project. So in order to get the mesh stitch, which looks like this, we are going to, and Bessie, this is normal, the first row is always the hardest, even for like advanced crocheters. This is the most pain, and this is normal. So we are going to first add 4 stitches to our chain, and then we are going to count back 5 stitches, take our hook, yarn over, put our hook into the 5th stitch or 5th loop, yarn over, pull the yarn through. We have 3 loops on our hook, yarn over, pull the yarn through the first 2 loops, yarn over and pull the yarn through the last 2 loops, and closing up our double crochet. And in order to get the mesh stitch, we are going to chain up 1, skip the next stitch, and go directly into the 2nd stitch with another double crochet by yarning over, put our hook into that 2nd stitch, yarn over, pull the yarn through. We have 3 loops on our hook, yarn over, pull the yarn through the first 2 loops, and we have 2 loops on our hook, and yarn over again and pull the yarn through the last 2 loops, closing up the double crochet. So this is basically how it's been done, the mesh stitch, and it also explains how it's been done with the double crochet. So you can decide if you want to have holds in between by chaining up 1 and skipping the loop, or you just put the next double crochet directly into the next stitch, which gives you a more closed up pattern. Yeah, this is the whole process. You're going to continue doing this for the first row, which is going to take up a long time because it's a long chain. The body part is, I think, the part that takes up the most time. Yeah, I'm gonna meet you when I'm finished the whole row and show you how it's been done in the second row. Alright, Bestie, when you've reached the first row, the end of the first row, we are going to chain up 4 and turn our work. Then we're going to skip the first loop. There's like a little grid, and we're going to insert our double crochets into the posts, which is like the little double crochets that we've done before. So we're going to do our double crochet into our first post and chain up 1 again, skip the next stitch and go directly into the next post. So we're working from post to post in order to get this grid. Chain up 1 and go directly into the stitch of our next post. And that's what we're going to do for the second row. It depends on when you want to change color. From now on, it's actually the same process. Each time you end up a row, you chain up 4, turn your work and start all over. If you don't do the mesh stitch, you do not chain up 4, you only chain up 3. Because the one chain of the 4th chain is actually like the chain in between that shapes the stitch in between the posts. And if you don't do that, you only need to chain up 3 and go directly into the next stitch. So that's what we're going to do, and I'm going to meet you when I'm changing up color to show you how that's been done. So this is how it looks. What I've done is actually I continued working on row 2, and when I finished row 2, I integrated the new color by just integrating it and chaining up 4. And then I take the white yarn, actually, the working white yarn that I've used to work with, and the access yarn of the blue color, and tied a little knot. And then I took the working yarn with me, like the white working yarn with me, and integrate it into the pattern and just continue working with the blue yarn. You do not have to do that. You can just tie a knot and cut the yarn and weave in the ends, excess yarn ends at the end. Now we're going to continue with the blue for a while, and then we change up the color again, and I'm gonna meet you up actually when we have done some bits of the body part. This depends on actually you, how long you want to have it, if you want to have it cropped or so. Hi Bestie, short little update on the process. I've been working on the body part, and this is how it looks. I absolutely love the colors. They look so pretty. I will add a couple more rows. I'm currently at the 22nd row, and this is how it looks. I'm mainly working with this mesh stitch since it's going to be a summer sweater, and you need it needs to be airy, but you can also add more stitches. Like I used to add different stitch patterns in this row for the orange and for the green one, for example, by just adding double crochets into each stitch. I'm done with the body part, and this is the most beautiful color pattern that I've ever done. So in total I did 25 rows, and this will make up 30 centimeters. So this will make up 30 centimeters. We're gonna wrap it around our body. Since this is a small, it won't fit me, but yeah, we wrap it around our body and see if it fits. And what we're going to do, which is very, very important when you end the last row, is to pull a long end. So we have this long end here that we can use to weave in and connect the parts, which we're going to do next. So we fold it and connect the parts in order to have our tube top, which is going to be the body part of our sweater. So I close it up, and this is how it looks. So we have this part here, and now we're gonna start with the sleeves. Alright, I started the sleeve. I chained up 60, which is approximately 32 centimeters. The girl that won the sweater actually told me that her, the size around her shoulders, around her armpits, is about 26 centimeters. I added 6 centimeters on top, so we have some space left for the arm. And since we're gonna have straight sleeves, this is going to be a very flared sleeve in the end. It's going to be the same size as at the wrists as it's going to be around the shoulders. So this is approximately 60 stitches with my yarn, and started my double crochet mesh stitch. So I added 4 more stitches on my 60 chains, started the mesh stitch again by doing a double crochet, skipping one, chaining up one, skipping one, and do another double crochet. It's the same thing as we did for the body part, and we're gonna do this twice. So we're gonna do and start the sleeve right now and go for a little bit, and then we're gonna do the exact same thing again for the second sleeve. Look at this. I finished 2 of the sleeves, so in total you're gonna need 42 rows. I stopped for now. I mean, you can even extend the sleeves if you want to after we attached everything, but for now it's good. So what I did is I added different patterns to the sleeves so you can play around with different patterns. So I mainly crocheted in the mesh stitch. Then we also have a checkered part, which is also cool. So if you want to know how to crochet checkered, you need to check out my checkered bag tutorial. Yeah, just normal double crochets as well. So this is one of the sleeves. It looks so pretty. This is the other one, which also kind of looks pretty. I also added the checkered part, and the rest is just simple. So what we're going to do now is closing the sleeve. That means we're gonna fold it. We are going to sew all the way down here and then attach it to the body part. Alright, bestie, I'm completely done with all the parts and sewed everything together, and now we're going to do the cleavage and the back, and I arranged it this way. So as you can see is we have the body part here, then the two sleeves here, and we have everything turned inside out. That is very, very important. What we are going to do now is I already connected with a excess yarn that I have left from that bit, like from that part, and the excess yarn that I have left from that part connected to the body part. And what we're going to do now is we crochet here, from here to here, up on top for the back part, and we're going to do the same thing for the front part. Alright, Bessie, I'm currently working on the back part, and the back part is pretty easy actually, because we're just connecting the sleeves from the one end to the other. We are attaching the new yarn at one of the sides. We're gonna do a little knot, and then we're gonna chain up 3, connect the chain to the sleeve with a slip stitch, chain up 1, and go directly with a double crochet into the second stitch, creating our mesh stitch again, going along the row. Then we are going to do the same thing again on the other end, connecting the last chain with a simple slip stitch to the sleeve, and then we are going to chain up 3 again, connect the 3 chains to the sleeve on the side. And since we have those posts here of the sleeve, which is in white, we're gonna chain up 3 and connect it to this part, to each of those posts. That's basically it. And then we're gonna turn our work and work the row back again to the other side of the sleeve. And we're gonna continue this until we are only missing the last row. Then I'm gonna show you how to build the collar. Little update, I've done the back. So what I did is actually, as I said, I crocheted all the way up until I hit the last row. And when I'm hitting the last row, I'm going to place my stitch markers. For this, I'm just using simple pins. So I put one pin in the middle. I take the middle of the middle and put another pin in the middle of the middle, and on the opposite side as well. And then I'm going to crochet until that point. When I hit the last 2 remaining stitches before I'm hitting the needle, I'm decreasing my stitches in the width, placing 1 half double crochet into the stitch before the last stitch, and chain up 1, and then set a single stitch into the last stitch, turn our work, chain up 3, and then we are doing a decreased stitch going up into the next row. We're chaining up 3, then we place our heat needle into the stitch, we go in, we yarn over, yarn and pull the yarn through. We have 3 loops on the hook. Then we go directly into the next stitch, and then we yarn over, pull the yarn through the first 2 loops, we yarn over, pull the yarn through the remaining loops. Then we just simply crochet to the sleeve again, connect it with a slip stitch, and then we pull a long end and cut it, and do the same exact thing on the other side. And now we are going to work on the front. It's actually the same process. We just attach the yarn and work our way up until we hit the certain point where we want to start the collar. And if you want to start the collar, we are going to do exactly the same as we did for the back, just a little bit earlier, because we want to have more cleavage in the front. Hey Bessie, so this is how it currently looks. I'm already done with one of the sides of the hoodie, and now I'm working on this side. So basically what I've done is I set some stitch marker, as you can see, one directly in the middle. Then I went to the middle of the middle, put a stitch marker there. Then I went to the middle of the middle of the middle. I'm gonna put another stitch marker into the middle of the middle of the middle. And I'm gonna do the exact same thing on the other side. So now I know where I have to stop crocheting in order to create the collar. What we are going to do now is we attach the yarn and start crocheting our first row until we hit the stitch marker. 2 stitches before the stitch marker we stop, and we start decreasing in the width again, same as we did on the back side. That means we're going to set the half double crochet into the stitch before the last stitch and a single crochet into the last stitch, chain up 3, turn our work and decrease in the next stitch. Then we're going to go back to the sleeve, chain up 1, go into the third row, go back to until we hit the collar part again. 2 stitches before we hit the end, we're going to stop again and decrease in the width of our stitches by setting a half double crochet into the first stitch and a single crochet into the second stitch, and then we chain up 3 again, turn our work and go back again, decreasing the first stitch, go back to the sleeve again, and in row 5 we go back. We have to align the stitches to the stitches which we have on the shoulders, and in order to get that we need to either decrease again or we stop decreasing. In my case I only had to decrease once. That means I stopped before I entered the last stitch of that row 5 and only decreased in that by putting 1 single crochet into the last stitch. Chain up 4, put a slip stitch into that first stitch of row 6, and then I chained up 4 and just continue working on the mesh stitch again. Continue working straight up. As soon as I hit the last row actually, I finished up with chaining up 1 and pulled a long end in order to weave this long end into the project by connecting the back part with the front part, and that's actually it. And now I'm going to do this on the other side as well. In order to have it aligned, we're going to do the same exact thing, and then we are actually done with the hoodie. Bestie, I finished the sweater. It's done. This is it. It looks so pretty. I cleaned up all the excess yarn. That was pain. That's actually the worst about finishing a crochet project, cleaning up all the excess yarn in the end. But it's definitely worth it. It looks so good. This is how the sweater looks. This is the final result. From this the back, the front. I love the details that we have this checkered patterns in here as well on this side, and I included the colors light blue, orange, yellow, mint, white, and they all go so well together. I can tell you for now for sure that each color that I've used in this sweater was 1 ball. Except for yellow, blue, and white, and mint. From these colors I bought 2 balls because I like those colors and I wanted to have them integrated in like a bigger pattern. I can't wait actually to send this to the winner. I hope she likes it. I hope she freaking loves it. And she promised me actually to send me some videos in it, so I'm gonna blend them in this YouTube video as well. And I'm so happy how this came out. Like if you compare those 2 completely different hoodies, I mean they have the same exact pattern but just different color. This one is pure summer. This is more like the granny rug, but I don't care. It's a vibe, it's a mood. It's the original Beautiful Day hoodie, and that's the giveaway one. Let's see how this sweater looks on the winner. Alright, bestie, that was the winner. I absolutely love how the sweater fits perfectly. So I'm very happy that she loves it, that it fits her. So I really hope that you guys find it helpful and that you like this tutorial on the sweater, on the summer sweater. And if you do, feel free to give it some thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, feel free to subscribe to the channel for more DIY videos and crochet tutorials in the future. And don't forget to stream Beautiful Day today, or like at least some time the upcoming days. And I'm also tagging you the music video here as well. And I can't wait to be back in the next video. I hope you bestie have a very good day, a beautiful night, a beautiful morning whenever you're watching this video. And I can't wait to be back in the next video for you guys. I love you. Bye bye. I'm out. Have a beautiful day. Ciao.